Greetings, my fellow free and below sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to L3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful Soviet mangroves of South Florida. And today's date is Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021. I wish all the beautiful people around the world who've been victims of tyranny, regardless if it's inside, domestic, if it's foreign or domestic. I know route protests is happening in New Zealand, Australia, and the wars in the Middle East, such as the Gaza Strip. All these political folks out there, what would imagine throwing all these warmongering bods into the middle of the pit and let them duke it out? We'll all just watch. That would be very entertaining indeed, especially the ones with the loudmouths. They can't even back it up. Look at Tiger Woods got into an accident, and he's undergoing surgery, and wish him well, and his family the best as well. So hopefully, like I said, it's just him. So regardless of what you think of these people, there's claims that Tiger Woods is arrogant. I never met him, but even some of the sportscasters say he's a stuck-up individual. However, you always gotta never beat anyone when they're down. Always wish them the best. So trust me, you'll feel better. And of course, more the political propaganda machine with Merrick Garland. Instead of asking questions and so forth. Just nothing new under the sun. And you know what? They're all part of the club. We're not in it. All right. So that's how I see about these political figureheads. And they still want to point the Democrats are bad, the Republicans are bad. You got clowns on both ends. Don't need them. They need us. So I'm at I'm at the downtowner located at 10 South New River Drive in the heart of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, right along the New River. And it's in the southeast corner of the Andrews Avenue Bridge, right near the jail and the courthouse. Historical landmark indeed. This building was created in 1926. Check it out. They got some great photos here. It even survived the 1926 hurricane. So they didn't have any names till 1950. But so just hanging out, good folks here. So, know the owners, the people here are really good. Always try to support the mom and pop establishments the best you can. So, there's a good amount of them in Fort Lauderdale, even in your neck of the woods. So give them that love, all right? All right, enough of that digression here. We're going to talk about related to the right to keep and bear arms. A couple articles got my attention. And this one here came from AmericanMilitaryNews.com. Missouri County passes law to arrest feds who try enforcing federal gun control laws in county. Liz George wrote this. It says here, Newton County, Missouri enacted the Second Amendment Preservation Act on February 3rd, allowing local law enforcement to arrest federal agents who attempt to enforce laws in the county that violates citizens' right to keep and bear arms, in addition to rendering such laws null and void. The act requires the court and law enforcement agencies to protect the rights of law-abiding citizens to keep and bear arms. Sometimes the law-abiding term is a little bit too soft. I'll say that in good faith. Natural law-abiding citizens, that'll be better. So I'll just carry on here. Adding that law enforcement agencies, county employees, and political subdivisions will not have authority to enforce or attempt to enforce any federal laws, orders, or rules infringing on the right to keep and bear arms. Any federal agents who attempt to enforce federal regulations that violate the Second Amendment shall be subject to arrest by the Newton County, Missouri Sheriff's Department. According to the Act, all federal acts, laws, orders, rules, and regulations passed by the federal government, and specifically any presidential administration, whether past, present, or future, which infringe on the people's rights to keep and bear arms as guaranteed by the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution and Article 1, Section 23 of the Missouri Constitution, shall be invalid in this county and shall not be recognized in this county, and specifically rejected by this county and shall be considered null and void and of no effect in this county. The act reads, taxes, fees, stamps imposed on firearms, firearm accessories, or ammunition, any registering or tracking of any guns or gun owners, any act ordering the confiscation of guns, accessories, or ammo from law-abiding citizens would fall under the County Second Amendment Preservation Act and be rejected. Missouri lawmakers are considering similar legislation at a state level, including a statewide Second Amendment Preservation Act, which has already passed the Missouri House. We've been told numerous times that Joe Biden is in favor of making changes to the Second Amendment rights, said Representative Jared Taylor told KYTV last month. With those concerns and concerns that we've had in the past with other presidents, we want to make sure that as Missourians, we're protecting that Second Amendment right. Taylor introduced House Bill 85 that seeks to remove limitations on where individuals with concealed carry permits are allowed to bring their firearms. Taylor says the decision to make a space gun-free should be left up to the property owners rather than the government. And I respect that. I agree completely. It should be up to the private property owner what they allow on their private property, Taylor said. Any other private property locations in statute, I'm removing. So casinos, bars, amusement parks, churches, if it's a private school. Last week, President Biden pushed Congress to pass gun control legislation, issuing a statement that said, I'm calling on Congress to enact common sense gun law reforms, including requiring background checks on all gun sales, ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, and eliminating immunity from gun manufacturers who knowingly put weapons of war on our streets. Well, that includes members of the Homeland Security, President Biden. Oh, wait, sorry. I can't say President Biden. White privileged Joe Biden. White privilege 46. You can't even talk out. You can't even walk straight. Sorry, it's just. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki also told reporters that the president has not ruled out using executive orders for gun control, which is null and void. Thank you very much. Redhead Psaki, which I'm going to hate redheads, don't get me wrong, okay? When asked if Biden's intended to use executive action on gun control, Psaki said the president has a range of actions at his disposal. He hasn't ruled out either of those options. Like I said before, it's null and void. Without force. It just really makes me laugh when you have these clowns out there think they're smarter than everybody else. Well, I do commend the county, Newton County, for taking a stance. I know other counties around the country, even Florida, doing the same thing. The whole thing is, it has to be implemented, period. Even if it's on paper, it has to be executed. That's how you do it. So I like this a lot. 10th Amendment, nullification. This is beautiful. And I'm glad this is happening because centralization is unacceptable. It's not guaranteed under our U.S. Constitution. And the states have those rights. I don't give a damn what people think. If you don't like it, you can leave. Thank you very much. So we're going to do one more here pertaining to Second Amendment. This one here came from the Floridian, FloridaPress.com. Came out yesterday by Daniel Molina. Is Sabatini calls Florida a Second Amendment sanctuary. Last week, Florida Representative Anthony Sabatini, Republican, introduced legislation that will ban taxpayer-funded lobbying over the weekend The staunch conservative shifted his focus on the national conversation regarding the Second Amendment, a move that will likely cause a stir in the Florida legislature as Sabatini is pursuing the case of having Florida recognized as a Second Amendment sanctuary. Of course, we get people offended. All those folks who have that residential tourist mentality. Well, who cares what they think, right? Absolutely. And I live in Florida. I think it's great. He says on his tweet on Twitter, today I filed House Memorial 1135, which instructs Congress to recognize Florida as a Second Amendment sanctuary state. Florida is the nation's beacon of freedom, and no state or local official should not administer any unconstitutional law. That was February 19th. In his most recent effort, Sabatini has introduced legislation that would make the Sunshine State a Second Amendment sanctuary. Announcing the decision on Twitter, Sabatini explained that Florida is the nation's beacon of freedom and no state or local official should administer any unconstitutional law. Directing a memo to Congress, Sabatini noted that there are a number of legislative proposals in Congress that would, if enacted into law, infringe upon the firearm rights of Floridians to own firearms under the state and federal constitutions. As a result, he's demanded that Congress recognize the Sunshine State as a Second Amendment sanctuary, while almost demanding that federal agencies and Congress vigilantly preserve and protect the Second Amendment rights of Floridians by rejecting any provision, law, or regulation that may infringe on Second Amendment rights. This week, Sabatini continued effort by also introducing legislation that would repeal Florida's red flag law, which he calls unconstitutional. He explained that the law in place allows a judge to confiscate firearms without due process. In addition, his repealed irrational anti-2A laws, like the law prohibiting adults 18 or 20 of age from purchasing firearms, which I agree, because both those language from the Stoneman-Douglas Act are illegal, and I have addressed this in the past, which was HB 6083. It says it right here, and it came out yesterday on his. He tweeted this. Just filed HB 6083, a bill to repeal Florida's unconstitutional red flag law, which allows a judge to confiscate firearms without due process. The bill also repeals other irrational anti-2A laws, including the law prohibiting adults 18 to 20 of age from purchasing firearms. Now, I will stop right here. He's right, because the fact is this. It violates Article 1, Section 9 and 10 of the Florida Constitution, including Section 22 of the same, right to a fair trial. But they claim, if I recall, I did a little homework on this, they made these statements that the red flag law, or the extreme protections order, is a civil case. Well, the respondent or defendant cannot represent himself, can't have a jury of his peers, nor cross-examine the complainants or plaintiffs. Yeah, Article 1, Section 22, it's illegal. And the 18 to 20 law, which was fast-tracked out of fear, is invalid because there's no constitutional amendment on that. If you read Article 1, Section 8, it explains it. Only to handguns. 18 or 20, you got to have a vote by the people, petition and all that. They tried that with the semi-auto ban in Florida. It failed. And I explained that in my past episodes, I think around November of 2019, I believe. Yeah, 2019. And of course, one of the authors was Gary Farmer Jr., senator from Fort Lauderdale, is trying to do the same thing with some other bogus bills. I called him out on it as well. It's a revised version. See, one thing I love about these politicians, they love playing with recycled pus. All right, so I support Representative Sabatini on this, and I'll let my servants know to endorse his actions, co-sponsored all that. Yeah, put these people's feet to the fire. Emailing is cool. I email, but I got to take the initiative. I'm calling them as well. Hey, you got my correspondence? You got my memo? What do you think? All right. The issue of gun control and gun rights has been a divisive topic in the state of Florida in recent years. After the tragic shooting at Parkland that claimed the lives of students, lawmakers quickly moved to respond so that something like that never happens again, but the conversation remains ongoing in the political arena. And of course, it is true, but they all jumped the gun. It was invalid, illegal, null and void. Okay? Because, like I said, not just you have to use the Second Amendment, people have this habit of using the incorporation doctrine, which, hey, I get caught in that bind too. But Article 1, Section 2, basic rights. Owning firearms, including semi-autos, even fully automatic, is a property right. Long as you don't inflict it on others or use it for criminal intent. Okay? What happened at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas was completely disturbing. A lot of incompetence from all angles. All you gotta do is read that Stoneman Douglas committee report. That's one. And of course, the suspect was considered mentally defected by the courts in Broward County. He wasn't supposed to get a firearm on the federal or state level. Then the 5-day waiting period in Broward County, Ordinance 18-96, he went through. So it's not the NRA or Donald Trump. And I'm critical towards the NRA too, and Donald Trump at times as well. Those are the facts. All you gotta do is look it up. You can look up for the mentally defected. Florida statute is 793.065. The 5-day waiting period. Broward County Ordinance 18-96. And if I'm correct, U.S. Code, Title 18 U.S. Code 9212. I could be mistaken, but look those up. You shouldn't have been owning the farm. So even the laws in the books wasn't valid for that suspect, Nicholas Cruz. I'll leave it at that. So even Mr. Andrew Pollack said the same thing about the incompetence. And I don't blame him one bit. It does tick me off today. Especially people try to politicize these tyrannical practices affect all of us. It's not going to make us safe, but more treacherous. So yes, I do commend Mr. Sabatini, House Representative Sabatini, on this. At least he has the courage to take action instead of lingering. And all you folks out there too, living in Florida, I encourage you to contact your House of Representative and say, hey, support this referendum. Anything that supports natural rights needs to be promoted. No questions asked. And that will be it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, if it's interesting, whatever you do, please send your correspondence to the Quorum. Furthermore, I'll leave the footnotes of these articles on my Spreaker page. And if you want to contact me, hit me at LookYouLuck03 at protonmail.com. Or if you want to send donations, you could get me at paypal.me or cash.app/LookYouLuck3. And furthermore, if you want to send your donations to American Military News and the Floridian, that would be excellent. I give these people love too, all right? Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that the demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on, spread the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.